Thank you for joining me. I'm Preston Olson. We're going to talk a little Illinois policy here on Policy with Preston. Lisa Madigan not running for re-election, folks. This is huge. This is a big deal. This impacts our state dramatically. For a long time, her father, Michael Madigan, and her have ran the House of Representatives in the state. This is going to open the door for a brand new Attorney General of Illinois, and the Republicans have an obligation to put somebody on the table who will be forthcoming and who will strive to get the job done. I'm very doubtful that this will happen. The Democrats have a stronghold on the midterms, and mainly they have a strong grasp of the people's, feelings and wants of this state, and they know how to attack that directly. I think that as a young conservative and other conservatives alike need to progress and keep our fundamental values, but I believe that we have to pay attention to what is happening in the undertaking that could be if Rauner is ousted as governor by J.B. Pritzker or many others who will soon be in the news. But I'll tell you now, Lisa Madigan bowing out, if she keeps her word, this is going to be a positive sign for this state and a positive sign for our economic future. We've been held back too long by the policies of the Democrats and the liberals on the left in this state, and I say no more. That is my rallying cry. I hope that's everybody's rallying cry that is a young conservative. Let's keep it simple, but at the same time, let's present facts that Illinois Democrats have controlled the Senate, controlled the House for 40 plus years in this state, and that in itself should raise eyebrows. I will also say that if you live in this state, you should also pay attention to what is happening in Chicago. But that is for another time. When it comes to policy, I'm looking for a Republican to step up, or an independent, or somebody, the Green Party, whatever, the Tea Party, it doesn't matter. The problem I'm having is I'm looking around and I'm not able to see who the Republicans will put forward that will be able to fill the shoes that haven't been filled, have not been filled at all. Not in Lisa Madigan's term, and not prior to her term. So there's a lot of work to do. All the work will not be completed, and it's a long way off. But a lot of it can be done, and it starts at the top. And when you get closer to the top, it seems like we get closer to getting more and more done. With the Republicans with the governorship, Illinois is on track to have a balanced budget. Now, politics doesn't have to be give and take. Politics has to be what the people and what the majority is, what the majority rules. And that's the type of country we live in, where majority rules. As long as we don't go against our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, we have to remember that we have to also hold the people we elect to those same standards, and we have to keep beating that drum, So I'm hoping for more development, a lot more development in this state as far as factories, as far as warehouses, and it can be done, but we need the right leadership, and we need the right people in place who are willing to put in the extra work here. So hopefully the Republicans understand what is happening in Illinois, and hopefully Republicans all alike can rally. And I think this is a good time to be alive, and this is a great time to be in this country. So I'm just hoping that Illinois politicians could maybe stop filling their pockets up enough time for the rest of us to catch up a little bit. And everybody that I know works for what they have, and I work for what I have. So I can look out and honestly see that there's too many people working to just not have a whole lot, and that just shouldn't be. And inflation in this state hasn't been reflected off of the cost of living in quite some time. It's been in inflation by popular demand, if you will. So hopefully, in the near future here, with the right leadership, the right people in place, but it starts on the ground, and it starts with the little man, and it starts all the way up from the little man who's working the small general store to the big man who's owning a few cattle ranches, to a few pieces of farmland, acres, corn, bean, different types of crop. Agriculture is the backbone of this state, and it's on Front Street everywhere you look, but it doesn't get treated that way. And I'd like to see a little more land get developed on that's farmland once before, but unfortunately cost and basically not a huge job market for agriculture, just a lot of agriculture, and it's handled by mainly families. So I would say that, that's going to be one thing that's differentiates this state from all other states, and that's what an attorney general has to know. That's what a governor has to know. That's what members of Congress have to know, and they have to know the most important parts of the state's economy, and they have to understand how they have flourished, how they failed, and they have to know the trends, but they have to be able to base an economic system off what works and not what could work. So again, this is Preston Olson. I'm signing off, and everybody else, enjoy the rest of your weekend. I hope everybody enjoys their Monday morning. I'm going to release this a little bit earlier on Monday morning. Other than that, everybody have a good rest of your night.